Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. Now, for the first time in several years, public schools have once again produced the top male and female performers in the Common Entrance exam. And the 2017 results have shown a steady improvement in the performances of students. Shane Jones was at the Ministry of Education this morning when Education Minister Ronald Jones briefed the media on the results.
The 2017 figures of the Barbados Secondary School's entrance examination have shown a general improvement across the board, especially in mathematics. The national mean score in maths was 55%, up from 48.3% in 2016. That 55% represents an increase in both males and females. Education Minister Ronald Jones is pleased with the jump in students scoring in the top bracket in mathematics.
Analysis of the performance in the students in the range from 70 to 100 indicate that 1,223 students, or 38%, scored in this range, as compared to 28.7% in 2016. So, as I say, once there's a decline in the other numbers, there will be an improvement at the higher end. So, I'm saying here at the higher end, compared to 2016, this is almost a 10% improvement at the higher end over last year.
13 students scored 100% in mathematics, 4 males and 9 females. English results have continued on a steady growth path over the past 10 years, with a highly commendable national mean score of 70.4%, up from 2016's 67.92. 63.7% of the students scored between 70 and 100% in English. Minister Jones says he is pleased with the overall results.
You can go well with the feeling that something is happening in primary education. Teachers are generally performing with these students, and students don't only begin at 11 plus, they begin down through the system. So there's been improvement overall. My congratulations, or our congratulations, excuse me, to all students who did the 11 plus this year. They've been caught up in the overall performance and the overall improvement both in English and in math.
History was created as for the first time an early exam sitter earned the title of top boy. 10-year-old Jovan Linton of Blackman and Gollop scored 243.18, while Christchurch girls Trishani Jordan got 243.70. They will both be attending Queen's College in the new school year. Shane Jones, CBC News.
And as you just heard from Shane, 10-year-old Jovan Linton of Blackman and Gollop and 11-year-old Trishani Jordan of Christchurch girls were the top two. I visited them at their school earlier. In both cases, Jovan and Tishani were expected to perform well. Everyone from their teachers to parents and even classmates said these two topping the scores on the island was not hard to imagine. In fact, Jovan's mum, Sharon, said if he had his way, he would have done the exam last year at 9, but she stepped in.
Can only be kids once, so I didn't want him to, go into secondary school early and miss out on childhood things. So because secondary school is, another stepping stone, it is more work, and I just wanted him to be ready.
Now, while she's excited at her son's achievement, Sharon says it's bittersweet since her mother, who was the driving force behind his success, passed away before she could witness it. Jovan, meanwhile, is over the moon about his marks, 99 in both maths and English. This is how he found out.
I heard it come over the radio as we know have found out our top boy, Jovan Linton.
And how did you feel?
I felt awesome. I was prepared for a very long time, and lots of people encouraged me and helped me with my studies. So it wasn't like blown away.
And over at Christchurch girls, while they were both good at holding in their emotions, 11-year-old Tishani Jordan and her mother, Tamisha Rochester Jones, assured me that they were excited. Not only did Tishani score a perfect 100 in maths and 99 in English, but she's also following her mother's footsteps, leaving Christchurch and heading to Queen's College. While the 11-year-old cricketer expected to do well, she had her sights set on another big achievement.
I feel very excited and happy, overjoyed.
Did you expect it to be this way?
I didn't expect it. I was hoping that I would be the valedictorian, but I wasn't expecting that I would be the top girl.
Expect that she would have done as well as she did?
I had hoped for it. I knew she had the ability to do it. I was so surprised when I heard it, but yeah, I was hoping and praying. Okay. Yes.
So do you have anything special planned?
We have to discuss that now.
So now that you have to discuss it, you want to put in any ideas, anything you want?
Now it's the time.
Money?
Well, good luck with that, Tishani, and congratulations to all of the students who wrote the exam. Well, Charles F. Broome was one of the schools that performed well. 3 students there received perfect scores in mathematics.
This was a scene as parents and students waited with bated breath to see the results. Principal Dr. Monica Walton is satisfied the hard work has paid off.
They've worked hard, the teachers have worked hard. They didn't even have an Easter vacation holiday. And today I am really, really pleased with the results. I'll say that much. I know you will see different things in the media and you will draw your conclusions from that. But I'm here to celebrate all our children. We here at Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary, we work as a team.
Many of the students are relieved.
I'm very speechless. I just don't know how to feel right now, but to be honest, I am feeling elated because Queen's College has always been my dream to go to, and knowing that I got 100% in math and 90 in English and the A in composition, I just feel happy.
I'm feeling great. I got to the school of my choice. I had to make a lot of sacrifices, but I was determined. So with my teacher, Miss Kingbino and Miss Bess, they really pushed me to my limits and got me the results that I wanted to get. So
our teacher would always tell us not to give up, it's soon over, because we were just tired and sick of the work. Over and over, doing over the problems when you get them wrong, then to write out all the problems and the notes, and then every time you get something wrong, section 1 lashes on your knuckles.
I am really, really happy that I am going to Harrison College. I was really expecting to go to Queen's College, but I know that my grandmother will be really, really proud that I am going to Harrison.
One of the Class 4 teachers, Kathy Ann Kingbino, was all smiles.
I came to them in the second term because the teacher took ill and so on. So I was really the substitute teacher, and I really had to work hard to get them together and stuff. And at first they were like, oh, there's so much work, but they worked with me, and I pushed them, and I made sure that they put God first. And we pushed and we worked well, and I'm very pleased with the results.
95 students from the school wrote the common entrance exam. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Thanks, Rianne, and congratulations again to all of the students who wrote the exam. In other news now, authorities appear to be making progress in the battle on illegal dumping in some gullies across the island. A CBC team headed to 2 of the well-known hot spots for illegal dumping with well-known environmentalist Herman Lowe. However, they were greeted by an unusual sight. Again, Rianne Phillips reports.
Our first stop was Jack in the Box Gully. Only a few years ago, it was a hot spot where over 800 tons of garbage were dumped and subsequently removed. However, there's only a small pocket of rubbish and no sign of dumping.
I am extremely proud for what the governments have done because when I visited these Jack in the Box and the other gullies, they were filled to the road level. But now, a few years have passed on, and the gullies are relatively clean. I am really proud to see how the Barbadian public has obeyed the governments and tried to keep the gullies clean.
Over in the Bell Gully, it was relatively clean. Regarding the reports of illegal dumping at sites across the island, Mr. Lowe offered some ideas.
If you want to clean a city, you've got to set down stringent rules and carry them out. If we know that you you're going in a different court. And you won't want to go back there, so you won't dump illegally.
Several efforts have been made to curtail dumping in the past, such as the use of signs and even cameras at illegal dump sites. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
And the Minister of Labour, Senator Dr. Esther Bayer-Suckoo, is of the view that as the National Insurance Scheme matures, there will be need for a strategic plan for Social Security. The recommendation was made during the opening of the 28th CARICOM Heads of Social Security meeting at the Crane Resort. Such a plan, she says, will address concerns of Barbadians and also guide Barbados in the direction of restructuring the NIS.
We have recently invested heavily in the IT system, but after a couple of years, there's still a heavy backlog of claims. The National Insurance Scheme has also fallen behind in its legal and fiduciary responsibility to produce financial statements and annual reports. And as I said before, this lack of up-to-date information creates a void in which anxiety settles, and it leads to panic. In Barbados, this scenario, along with delays in this new IT system, we noticed that when it was being introduced, and then heavy withdrawals on the unemployment fund during our highest period, or period of highest unemployment in the recession.
Dr. Bayer-Suckoo notes that even though several challenges facing the NIS have been rectified, trust must be rebuilt in the scheme.
That can only be achieved through greater accountability, transparency, and communication. This is the basis for a new strategic vision, one which I know would be welcomed by our public. And so you see why I readily welcome you here today. Not to air our dirty linen, but I'm certain that you all experience some, if not all, of these challenges. And as you share your best practices and your mistakes, you will help us. In fact, we will help each other make our own systems safer and stronger.
Prime Minister Fendel Stewart has responded to criticism surrounding the purchase of a brand new prime ministerial vehicle. Speaking on the sidelines of a book launch this evening at the museum, Mr. Stewart outlined that the purchase was made over a year ago as the past vehicle was continuously breaking down.
So I had to ask you the question. They said just after the budget, they said the Prime Minister has a new vehicle, and they're saying that it can cost $300,000 up to $700,000. Do you have a comment on that?
First of all, the Prime Minister does not have a new vehicle. It's the government of Barbados that has one. I don't own MP2. I am driven in it. The second point I want to make is that MP2 was ordered in the annual estimates of 2016, 2017, and was delivered a few days ago. No different from the car that it is replacing, which was ordered in the estimates of 2007 under the Barbados Labour Party.
Well, Prime Minister Stewart says he's not about the glitz and glamour.
I'm not into trying to look impressive. I am not Prime Minister in search of status or standing. I'm Prime Minister in search of service. So anybody who wants to get in a quarrel with me over a car that doesn't even belong to me, that belongs to the government, is really wasting time. The car belongs to the government of Barbados, and when I cease to be Prime Minister, whoever becomes Prime Minister will have access to the car. It just happens that on present indications, that is not likely to be too soon.
Well, Team Barbados cooks its way to the top in Miami. We'll tell you about that and more after this break.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial star 153 number sign to sign up to Digicel today.
We start with a yes. But when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel to anywhere. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
Watch the programs of the Barbados Government Information Service to find out how the ministries and government departments can work for you.
Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. on this station. Watch us in high definition on our YouTube channel, the BGIS, and like our Facebook page.
The Barbados Government Information Service. We keep you informed.
Your insurance payment doesn't have to be a burden. At Beacon, we're happy to help finance your premium and spread your payments over 9 months so that it's easier to manage. Call 436-6200 or log on to beacon.co.tt.
Hello friends, this is Jeff Shepard inviting you to join us every Thursday from 6 to 7 on QFM for Nichols Bacon Inc. Manor. Always fresh.
Team Barbados has come out on top at the just concluded Taste of the Caribbean in Miami. Barbados, led by team manager Chef Henderson Butcher, caught the coveted Caribbean National Team of the Year award. The island last secured that title in 2010 and 2013. The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association was among the first extending congratulations to Team Barbados. Chief Executive Officer Rudy Grant says the win is a plus for the island.
This clearly demonstrates the kind of offerings which we have in Barbados as it relates to our food and our drinks. We can proudly reference Barbados as the Epicurean capital of the Caribbean, and this helps to distinguish us as a tourism destination and helps as well to convey in a very strong way the fact that we have culinary delights and that we have individuals in Barbados of world class and of international standing, and we are extremely proud, and this is going to be very, very positive for Barbados as a tourism destination.
Barbados also won a number of individual awards.
We had Gold in Caribbean Chef of the Year with Willis Griffith. We had Best Rum Drink by Ryan Adamson. Ryan also won a gold medal in Caribbean as Caribbean Bartender, and he also won Caribbean Bartender of the Year. Javon Cummins, he had a gold in Caribbean Pastry Chef of the Year. Nicholas Eiffel had a gold in Caribbean Junior Chef of the Year. We had Kurt Ruck, who got a silver in the Caribbean Beef Competition, and Damian Leach, a gold in Caribbean Seafood Competition, as well as the overall winner in that category.
Congratulations, Team Barbados. It's time for Barbados to practice climate-smart agroecology. This from National Coordinator of the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program, David Bino. He says farmers must start building farm systems that are resilient to climate change.
We recognize that as small and developing states, we're being impacted heavily by climate change, and that's going to have an impact on agriculture as well. So it means we need to adapt. How can we adapt? By making our production systems climate smart. It means that when there's a drought, that farmers are able to harvest water beforehand so they can utilize it in drought. It means that they would have varieties that are resistant and drought tolerant. It also means that when there's a storm or a hurricane, that they would have certain plans in place to mitigate the impact of that storm or hurricane on the farm itself.
He was speaking at the launch of the St. George Independence Committee Parish Project for 2017 at the Workmen's Primary School. The parish ambassadors will be working with schools and residents in the area, ensuring that they adopt sustainable forms of agriculture. Their theme this year is Our Parish, Our People, Our Passion. Chairman of the St. George Parish Independence Committee, Herbert Harewood, says people are moving away from the conventional to an organic type of agriculture.
We are trying to use them as a catalyst to ensure that persons who are farmers, whether in the schools, students, 4-H clubs, or for that matter of fact, just small income owners, are able to adopt sustainable forms of agriculture, whether it's hydroponics, aquaponics, greenhouse farming, fish farming, any of those. So therefore we are using those persons to assist us in getting the project catalyzed across Barbados and indeed ensure that our residents continue to practice these.
Leader of the Citizens Association Partnership, Wendell Callender, believes having a budget is a waste of time if there's no implementation of the proposals. He was speaking during CAP's media conference held in the Sky Mall's training room this morning. CAP will be contesting the upcoming general elections. The party already has 13 candidates running and more are expected to join. Mr. Callender says the aim should be getting more people to invest in the country.
Where we can have new industries, where we can have those new industries that are emerging, where we can get people to invest in Barbados, where we are not only about talking, but we are about doing and making sure that Barbados comes out of this predicament that it is in, because right now we have a crisis of implementation all over Barbados. We talk a lot, but we don't implement the things we have. And at this point in time, we can have all the budgets that we want. If at the end of the day, there's no implementation, we are going nowhere.
The management and staff of Mount Gay Distilleries has given a facelift to one of the island's rural areas by beautifying the Mount Gay village in St. Lucie, one of its neighboring communities. It's part of the continued work of the company's corporate social responsibility campaign. Now, back in February, the brand celebrated its 314th anniversary, and the company launched its drive to end the use of styrofoam products in the country with a total ban on the use of styrofoam containers for food and beverages on its premises. The company expressed its commitment by transforming the Cane Hole Bar community with Mount Gay colors and erected a welcome sign at the entrance of the village. The village bus shelter was also spruced up with a paint job, signage and landscaping. Well, still to come, Liat pilots take industrial action.
Diamond Dazzler, it's time to play. Diamond Dazzler, the new instant $250,000 scratch game from the Barbados Lottery. Available at select lottery outlets.
Hassle-free credit, instant card issuance, chip card security, no late or over-limit fees. Sign me up!
That's right! Enjoy these benefits and more with the new and improved Cape Shepherd Visa credit card. Shop in confidence with chip card technology and sign up to receive real-time usage alerts with our free SMS and email transaction alert service, all while enjoying competitive interest rates. Join the Cape Shepherd Visa cardholder family today by applying online at capeshepherd.com and let us take care of your everyday needs.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Beautiful Barbados and 4D Entertainment welcome you to the Flow Soca on the Hill, Sunday, July 23rd, 2017, where the mega stars of Crop Over 2017 assemble with the Caribbean Fest, Patrice, Skinny Fabulous, Ricky T, Orlando Octave, and Ultimate Rejects to bring you the world's greatest soca party, the Flow Soca on the Hill. Let's gather the people.
Across the Caribbean, brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean.
Regional airline Liat has been hit by flight cancellations and delays after its pilots embarked on industrial action. A statement by the Antigua-based airline says it was informing passengers that in the ongoing negotiations for higher wages, which includes the operation of the ATR aircraft, the pilots have taken action to refuse to fly the ATR 72 aircraft until an agreement is reached. The financially strapped airline, whose major shareholders are the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, says as a consequence of this action, it has not been able to operate flights scheduled with ATR 72 aircraft at this time. Senior Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Health at the ILO Port of Spain office, Ariel Pino, says reform of the social security institutions is necessary and must meet the changing times.
Ensuring sustainability as well as expanding the coverage of the systems. And in doing that, they also have to discuss, deal, engage and cooperate with other institutions in the country providing also social protection. Therefore, they should be the most important part of an ecosystem which could provide universal coverage throughout the life cycle, from children, working age population and old age persons.
Mr. Pino says his office will continue to engage with its regional partners to improve social protection systems in the Caribbean. Meanwhile, Secretary General of the Inter-American Conference on Social Security, Omar de la Torre de la Mora, says he is committed to establishing a roadmap to improve people's lives through Social Security.
We are convinced that unity among countries and international agencies is critical for Social Security in the future. In our 75th anniversary, we are renewing our political responsibility to Social Security because our contribution must remain focused on people, on getting Social Security benefits to transforming people's lives.
We move over to Guyana now, with oil production set to start in about 3 years' time. Oil giant ExxonMobil is yet to receive its production license. But Minister Joseph Harmon announced at a post-cabinet media briefing that this will soon change. More in this Royden James report.
Following reviews of the technical and environmental aspects of the Liza project development plan that was submitted by Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited in December 2016, the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is expected to grant a production license to ExxonMobil for production of petroleum to move ahead in 2020.
Mr. Harmon said that emphasis will be placed on Guyanese employment and training, among other things.
The production license is required to be finalized before the developers make their final investment decision for the project in June 2017.
Extraction of the blacks is first expected in the laser field at a rate of 1,000 barrels of crude per day in the first phase, with a floating production storage and offloading vessel providing the main infrastructural support for the project.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and other ministries and agencies are actively pursuing a number of undertakings on the policy, legislative and infrastructure sides to ensure that the country is prepared for the coming oil production.
At this point, the minister could not say much on the production sharing agreement between ExxonMobil and Guyana. Guyana, however, is set to receive 2% royalties and 50% of the profits when production begins. Cabinet is yet to deliberate on whether that is a fair deal.
Across the Caribbean, brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean.
Coming up next, we'll give you a peek into the world of sports. But before we get to that, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited.